In the last video, we talked about taking stuff that you already filmed and turning it into content versus filming something entirely new and turning it into content, and why the latter option is better. Because it's replicable and pivotable, whereas the older stuff, not so much. Now, I gave that to you as a rule, and at the same time, there's no set rules for life. Things could always be in between somewhere. So here's one strategy that I would say is great for using stuff that you already filmed and turning that into content. But it's still involving filming something new or creating something new anyway. I would say this: when you have a format that has been working for you already, meaning you enjoy making the format, right? Let me really define what's working. What's working is you enjoy making it. That's number one. Number two is that you experience some level of engagement, which seems to be increasing over time. Maybe you get a few more views. Maybe you get a few more comments. Maybe you even get some questions. Even better, maybe there's a comment discussion. Those are ways that you can track if it's working, the level of engagement. The next way you can track whether it's working is your level of, I would say recidivism for your audience, the amount of returning viewers coming back. Because you could just make something that gets a lot of views and make the next thing that gets a lot of views, but if they're not the same people watching them, then what you're doing is just scattering, you're scattering viewership across different demographics, and you still don't necessarily have a reliable way to make people come back. And you can actually track that in the analytics. So 3 ways you know that it's working: you enjoy it, you have some engagement that's increasing, and you have some of a returning audience. When you have those 3, now you're ready to start digging back up old stuff that you filmed that were not intended to be content, but now you can make them into content. What you do is you incorporate that older stuff that you filmed and mix it in with the new content that you're doing. Perfect example. Let's say you have a format that's working and you're like, okay, for this episode, I'm gonna react to something that happened way back when. I did an interview on the news, or I did this event. Let's talk about what happened there, and let's bring it back to something that's more current. Or let's bring it to the topic that I typically discuss. That's a great way to use older stuff. As a matter of fact, probably every creator eventually goes this route to some extent. They have a content format that's working for them. They speak or something like that. They do something, but for some reason they get to a certain point where, being innovative with that format is, I guess the innovation doesn't come as easy, because maybe they explored so many topics with that current format and there's just not enough left. It could happen like that, or they could just be proactive. Like maybe their topic is like dinosaurs or something like that. Maybe they know that at some point they have said all the interesting enough things that they know about or that's available for dinosaurs. And before they get to that point, they start reacting to stuff that other people are saying about dinosaurs. Or even better, maybe reacting to what they used to say about dinosaurs, and I would say react to that and give a more updated perspective. Or actually those are the two ways you can do it. You can react to other people or react to yourself. That's a great way to use older stuff, especially stuff that wasn't intended to be filmed for content. I would say some of it too is like you can incorporate stories of your life as well. Maybe even stuff that wasn't even filmed, right? Some story of your life is relevant to the format that you make now. So it's not only using older stuff that you filmed, but you can even use older stuff that you didn't film and incorporate that into your content. So that's how I would use older stuff and make that into content today. I'll add a little bonus. How to use older stuff and turn that into content today. You could just play slot machine with it. Like literally take the older stuff that you filmed and throw it up and just see what happens. You just never know. You never know. You might find out that something that you made a long time ago actually is perfect content. The only way to find out is to put it out. That's really the only way. And even then, you probably still won't know because then there's always the wait until you find the audience for that content. So I would like to add this one potential outcome of taking stuff that is from the past and turning that into content is that if it does get traction, do you have enough of that kind of content to keep making? Now, I mean, how many more interviews can you do? How many more older stuff can you do? How many more stuff can you make that's like what you've done before? So that I would say that's another reason why it's safer to just start fresh. But there are ways you could mix the two as well. So, and I think the best way is to incorporate the older stuff into your current content. With that, let us keep making videos and create a path for success and global utopia. I'll work on my closers later.